What up, everybody? It's your cosmic homegirl, and I'm doing another celebrity news astrology reading really quick here. So, Lil Wow Wow, as I call him, or Lil Bow Wow, or Shad Ma, Shad Ma. Dude has so many names. I don't know what to call him. He's a Gemini rising. Gemini is about multiplicity. So no wonder. But anyhow, he is in the news because he was on Twitter yesterday, which was July 30th, 2018, kind of popping off at people. And those tweets I looked and they are now erased, but I have seen some receipts, as they say, that show that he was kind of going off on people and he was going off on a little rampage. And what's going on with that? So we're going to take a look at his natal chart and see why. So it was reported that he was tweeting out things about giving away all his money, telling people, hey, give me your Cash App. I wish I could have caught that tweet. You know what I'm saying? I would have given him my Cash App. But he was like, give me your Cash App and I will send you money because I don't care anymore about money. And I'm about to just quit doing music and get me a job at GameStop. And it was just wild. And he was also popping off at people because they were saying, oh yeah, well, you post a picture with your girl, but we saw you in the club last night and this, that, and the other. And oh man, he kind of went off on them about that. But what's going on with him? I had somebody kind of ask me about that earlier, so I took a look at it. I did talk about it in my Celestial Buzz podcast. So if you haven't checked out my podcast yet, it's on Anchor and it's on Spotify. You can find me under Cosmic Homegirl on either platform and also on Stitcher. It's Stitcher FM, I think it is, as well. And I do talk about celebrities and their astrology and astrological events, okay? And I guess you can say spill the tea a little bit, but really it's just explaining like why are things happening. So as far as Bow Wow, let's look at his chart. Okay, so he is a Gemini rising, as you can see. And the second house, or the second sign from Gemini, is Cancer. And the second sign or second house is what rules your material resources, your money, how you make your money, how you value the material world, how you look at it. Like, do you really value material things? And it's also your self-worth too. And how you value yourself, how you allow others to treat you can also be seen here in the second house. So there was an eclipse in Cancer on July 12th of 2018, and that landed here, you know, and also his moon is in Cancer. The moon can rule your emotional well-being, how you process emotions, your inner thoughts, how you express your emotions too is Cancer. So this is why he's like a very sensitive dude. I mean, everybody knows he's a Pisces, which I'll cover in a second. But when it comes to someone's level of sensitivity, you also have to look at the moon, okay? What sign the moon was in the day they were born. So his is Cancer, so he's a sensitive Cancer moon just like Drake, okay? But he does a little bit of different things with his Cancer moon, I guess. And his moon is in an opposition to Neptune, and that can make someone uberly sensitive, like mad super sensitive. So the moon here and an eclipse landing in the same sign as his moon in his second house of his material resources and the work that he does to earn money. This is what kind of brought that to the surface and brought it to light is, you know what? I don't even care about material things. I don't care about money as much anymore. You guys can have it and start giving it away. That's the opposition to Neptune in his chart. It's like Neptune is dissolvement, and it's also like not really caring too much about the material world. You know, is Neptune. It kind of dissolves your material things. Sometimes it can rule losses of material things and money. So, you know, an eclipse in here kind of activated that. And that could be why he's kind of dealing with that. Also, Saturn is here in his 8th house. Now, the 8th house, this also deals with money and resources too. And it also deals with your mind, your traumatic experiences and things like that. And so Saturn is here. Saturn is about hard work. So, and it's about discipline. So he is having to really work hard with himself on his mental stability and on traumas, past pains. You know, Saturn's going to be in Capricorn until 2020, till like December 2020. So he is definitely dealing with some stuff, okay, internally. And Saturn is very close to his natal Neptune. And it's retrograde right now. It's going to go back to like right here, like 2 degrees. Then it's going to start going forward again in a couple of months. And then, you know, it's going to hit his Neptune. And during that time, you know, I'm going to be honest, I'll be a little worried about him because Saturn transiting someone's Neptune. I mean, if you're in that generation of Neptune and Capricorn, which is like the late 80s, early 90s, or early to like mid 90s, then a lot of your generation has been going through some things, dealing with issues involving Neptunian things like the dark side of Neptune, which can mean not really caring about the practical world so much that you deny responsibility. You know, you want to escape. This is the planet of escapism. You want to escape reality, and through negative ways, you know, harmful ways like drugs. Okay, so a lot of this generation is dealing with some ODs and some drug and alcohol issues. We've seen a lot of that over this past year, especially, you know, and this is why it's because of Saturn transiting Neptune. Neptune can also deal with, like I said, denial of responsibility, just kind of wanting to float in your own zone, in your own reality, your own time zone, and everything that you imagine in your head, even if it's not like really like, you know, even if it can't really happen, you think it can. So Saturn is making little wow wow, and the rest of his generation kind of face stuff like that. Like, are my dreams real? Like the dreams that I have for myself, you know? And also Saturn, it's hard work. So he's gonna have to work very hard on things like this. Now, Saturn on your Neptune, well, Neptune, it's one of the planets that rules music. And so Saturn being hard work, well, he is releasing new music. I saw this past week that he has released some new songs. No, a raunchy new song and video too. I'm like, little wow wow. Oh my gosh, we all looked up to you as little kids, and we forever will think of you as little bow wow. But now it's like, oh my gosh, he's really a full-grown dog now, you know, with that new video with all them booty butt cheeks swinging around. It's like, oh my goodness. Okay there, buddy. So Saturn is hard work. Neptune is music. So this could be another way that this could manifest, is him working very hard on music as well as inner demons. This section of your chart right here, the 8th house, can deal with inner demons. So he's really facing a lot of them. Okay, and I kind of worry about him, you know, with the eclipses happening in Cancer, Capricorn, on this axis. This is going to proceed and continue in 2019 and 2020, you know, and then when eclipses happen in this 8th house, this could be opening up the floodgates of emotions and the dark side of your mind, you know, things that you stash and you hide away in there, secrets, traumatic experiences, PTSD, all that stuff is found here in the 8th house. So eclipses are going to crack this 8th house open, I'm telling you. And hopefully when that happens, he is in some kind of therapy. You know, I think he did mention therapy in those now deleted tweets, I guess. So hopefully that's something that he's really doing. Anybody who's going through Saturn in their 8th house definitely needs to seek out a therapist or whatever you find to be therapeutic. That can even be turning to, you know, some esoteric or occult methods of treatment, you know, for getting rid of your inner demons and facing them and plunging all that crap out of your 8th house. Okay, let's just say that. So anyway, what else is going on in his chart right now? Well, the eclipse in Aquarius, it was on this axis of his IC and MC. The IC rules home and comfort and security. The MC rules your career. So he, you know, it wasn't like by degree. If you're an astrology nerd like me, you know, we look at the degrees, the exact numbers here. The eclipse was actually at 4 degrees Aquarius, so it was more like right here. But you know, it was just in the sign of his midheaven, which can rule career, so in public image too, you know what I'm saying? So this could be why there was such an explosive reaction to people publicly, because of the eclipse up here. And you know, the eclipse involves the moon, which is emotions, and it was conjunct Mars, which is anger, you know. And so that's that eclipse, you know, the popping off was like right after that. So I think he's just going through a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? And also, look at this. Neptune, the planet of dissolvement and illusions and being delusional, is very close to his sun in Pisces. Now, Neptune entered the sign of Pisces in 2012, I believe, 2011, 2012. At that time, it was conjunct his Mercury. I would say up until like maybe a few years ago, it was considered to be very close to his Mercury. Mercury is your thinking, and it's your speaking, how you're communicating and what you're communicating out there. So so his mind could have been very clouded, you know, as far as what's real and what's not. And also when it hits your sun, this is the conscious expression of yourself. It's also your vitality too, you know. So Neptune hitting the sun can make someone feel like they are shrouded within fog and clouds, you know. And also since it's in Pisces, that's like a mad sensitive sign that can tend to wallow in victimhood, victimization, or whatever. Neptune rules all that stuff too. Neptune rules the ocean. So this right here can make somebody feel like they are really drowning in the ocean, and they want somebody to throw them a life raft at times, you know, and they want people to feel bad for them and feel sorry for them. And honestly, sometimes when people go through a transit like this, sometimes they do kind of how should I put it in like nice seventh houser terms? They make the decision to peace out, okay, because they cannot take the weight of the world, the material physical world. This is the planet of the spirit realm, and this is the sign of the spirit realm. So a lot of Pisces have been saying peace, you know, because they feel like the spirit realm will be better. It'll be more calm, more serene. And this world here on earth is so cruel. So hopefully he doesn't go and do anything crazy because of this. Hey, Justin Bieber is also a Pisces sun. And what has he been doing? He's been diving into spirituality more. And people will say, oh, he's kind of, you know, weird now. Has he lost it or what? You know, but he's just much more in tune with the spirit realm, not caring as much about the physical realm. But he hasn't, at least so far, knock on wood for the little guy, but he hasn't really done anything drastic to say, you know what, peace out, I'm leaving this world. Hopefully little Wow Wow doesn't either, you know. Hopefully he maybe turns to more spirituality, gets more in touch with that side of himself. And this could be also why he's not really caring as much about money and saying, I'm just going to give it all away, because Neptune energy and Pisces energy can be very selfless, very disconnected from all that we care about here materially, you know, working to make a paycheck and accumulating material things. We find homelessness. Pisces and Neptune can rule homelessness. People that are just transients, they just kind of float, you know. They don't really want the responsibility of having to deal with all the material world stuff. So anyway, this is why this is going on with him. Hopefully, you know, I mean, we wish him all the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully he can be more in tune with his spiritual side and work on, you know, those inner demons and get some sort of like help and therapy for his issues with facing reality. Another thing I just noticed in his chart, he has Chiron in the first house. And Chiron, this is the wounded healer. A lot of people, they can see themselves as a victim, as an eternal victim when they have Chiron in their first house, conjunct their ascendant, or maybe conjunct their sun or their moon, or, you know, their Mercury or something. And he has it in his first house. So a lot of times people with Chiron in the first house, they get teased a lot. It's very hard for them to maintain and uphold a really good reputation, because this is the house of like the first impressions that people get of you. So, you know, and your appearance. So people could just like, people clown this guy so much. And this is because he has Chiron in the first house. You know who also has this placement? Wendy Williams. She has Chiron in the first, and people clown her all day, especially about how she looks, you know. So unfortunately, that's the reality of it. But the person who has this placement can choose to turn this around in some sort of way to help other people. You know, other people who are made fun of or bullied or teased or something, or they have some issue with their physical body, their health, their appearance. They can help other people and say, hey, I've been here, done that. I've been through this or that or whatever. And I can advise you on how to handle this. So he could actually be a really good advisor or something, counselor. Maybe he can turn around and do some kind of charity work, you know, once Neptune really is like crossing his sun. Let's see, what degree is Neptune at right now? It's at 16 degrees Pisces. It's retrograde. So probably sometime in the next year, it's going to move forward again and conjunct his sun again. And maybe at that time, he'll do something helpful, you know, or maybe a little after that even. And especially with Chiron and Aries, his north node, his life's purpose, soul purpose is in Aries. So when Chiron hits that, maybe that can align. When they align, that can mean like helping other people to heal as part of his purpose. You know, Pisces are already very natural healers themselves anyway. So hopefully, you know, that's the way that he handles things coming up soon. You know, Uranus is in Taurus. It's going to hit his Mars, which can make people kind of wild out a little bit and have anxiety. You know, even just being in the sign, creeping up on his Mars, creeping on a come up, you know, it's kind of activating that. And he has a Mars and Pluto opposition, which sometimes can make people act out in a violent rage physically, you know. So hopefully he doesn't do anything like that over the next few years. Hopefully if he does leave music, like I said, maybe he can do something therapeutic and like counseling others or helping others to heal. Maybe he'll start doing gospel albums like Snoop Dogg, you know, like the other dog in rap music, you know. Maybe Neptune will be like calling him and he'll say, hey, I found God, or I found whatever spiritual deity or power he believes in, and start kind of doing things more in that direction. So I'm out of breath now, you guys, talking about little wow. But let me know what you guys think. And of course, without dropping any hateful, oh my God, he's stupid or anything. We don't need to hear any of that. I'm talking about intelligent conversation, okay? Astrological insights, what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to hit up my podcast on Anchor and Spotify and Stitcher. Once again, it's under Cosmic Homegirl. I do weekly podcast where I talk about celebrity topics and just kind of touch on them a little bit and their astrological events that are happening and everything. So that's it, everybody. Have a great week, and let me know what you think. All right, peace.